Good afternoon. It's been a long time in the waiting. We always start planning this way back, January, February. What are we going to do? And it came to mind that maybe it was time to do a replay, and that our speaker has been here, we decided maybe 15 years ago. Because to my recollection, at that time they were in the process of building a home in Haiti and to be missionaries on that site. And a lot has transpired since then, so we're going to try to keep the other stuff that we do today short so that she can tell us what she knows. I'm glad you're here. We have a delightful lunch later on. Want you to stay for fellowship and coffee, lemonade, coffee cake today. So we hope we can all enjoy that together. We're going to sing just one verse of I Love to Tell the Story, 444. Let's do number 4, verse 4 also. To tell 444. Of unseen faith best, see hungering and thirsting to hear it like the rest, and when in scenes of glory I sing the new song, tell me the old story that I have loved so long. I love to tell the story, will be my theme in glory, to tell the old story of Jesus and his love. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy Lukey from Hartley is playing for us again today. She does such a nice job. She gets that job frequently. We appreciate that. On my way traveling today, this morning I had a little job I had to do at Emily's house. She's got a dog, and sometimes it has to go outside and do its little job, and today was one of those days that she maybe wouldn't be back until after 4, and so somebody needed to go, and Brad was going to go do some mowing at the farm in a different direction, and so there I was. I guess it's Jane's job. But on the way back home, I thought, oh my. I noticed there was some roadkill as I was going to Emily's house, and as I was coming back, there was a beautiful bald eagle on the side of the road. And they just give me the chills, and it just reminds me of Psalms and how Jesus wraps his wings around us and helps us fly in places that we don't ordinarily go, and helps us get through things. So that was an eye-opener, and I just love it when I see a bald eagle like that. Again, let's go to Mike next. Mike Cooper is our pastor. How many years now?
On year number 6.
It's amazing. We really enjoy him, and you'll enjoy hearing a short hello from him.
That's how long I talked, because it was supposed to be like a 3 to 6 month fill-in situation, and here we are almost 6 years. We're in the middle of the 6th year, not middle, but beginning of. I just have one scripture I want to share today that I really thought about as we look at Guest Day, and most of you are women, and there's 2 of us men here, so it does apply to us as well. But you're going to understand why I think it addresses you ladies even more than us men. But it's out of 2 Timothy chapter 1, and Paul is writing this letter to his fellow servant named Timothy that he calls his beloved son, and he says this: I thank God whom I serve with a clear conscience, the way my forefathers did, as I constantly remember you in my prayers night and day, longing to see you even as I recall your tears, so that I may be filled with joy. For I am mindful of your sincere faith within you, which first dwelt in your grandmother Lois and in your mother Eunice, and I am sure that it is in you as well. For this reason I remind you to kindle afresh the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands. For God has given us a spirit not of timidity, but of power and love and self-discipline. Now, not the self-discipline part for you ladies. You might have very good self-discipline, but we all need that. But just thinking of you as maybe a mother or a grandmother, and how Paul could see the faith of his mother and grandmother through him. And he says, I know, I can see it in you already. And so that's kind of what we have. It's something that's really been coming to my mind since the shooting last week and the killing on the subway train and other things, that we as parents, as family, as friends, we need to share that love of Jesus with our kids and our grandkids every chance we get. We never know when it's going to be the last, and we also don't know what they're going to remember. You know, are they going to take heart? If they see it alive in us, I think they'll take it to heart. Many of you have your own stories of faithful children and grandchildren, I'm sure. So that's my greeting to you today, that I'm excited that God has brought you here to worship together and to listen to Renae in the story of her faith that they've been able to share in Haiti. Let's go to God in prayer. Father in heaven, we just thank you for being a God that loves, and a God that teaches, and a God that forgives. It's something we all need. We seek to experience that today, that we can learn about things that are happening beyond our normal borders of our mind sometimes, out of our state, out of our country even. I just pray that we can encourage Renae in the work that has been done and that continues to be done. It's in your Son's name we pray. Amen.
I'm Myrna Hymanson. I know Renae, and so I said I'd be happy to introduce her. I have known Renae and her husband Dale Grooters from Rock Rapids for many years. As I have known them, their occupation actually is farming. Their mission is spreading the gospel and especially helping the children of Haiti. I want to do an ad for the items that you see out there, including the bag I bought at Rosie's. Lovely, it's very well made. The women do a great job of the things they do. If you're going through Rock Rapids on Highway 9, right at the stoplight, stop at Rosie's for a cup of coffee. Yeah, I know you didn't know I was going to do this commercial for you. It's a wonderful little place. There's many Christian things in there, and they truly are doing a wonderful job helping people of Haiti and are an example in their community. I am very pleased to welcome Renae as our speaker today. Let's welcome her.
Thank you, Myrna. I wasn't expecting that neither. So, my name is Renae Grooters, and my family and I live in Rock Rapids. We've raised our 3 children there, and we had no idea what the Lord was going to do with our life when we went to Haiti in 2009. As Jane said, I came here in 2010, and we had just begun our journey. We had found we had went on a family trip, and we really did not know what the Lord was going to do with that. We knew as we retired or went into retirement age, we wanted to serve somewhere. And he plotted us in Simonet, Haiti. Simonet, Haiti is about 30 miles just north of Port-au-Prince. We bought a small property that just sits right on the ocean, and it is truly just a little slice of heaven. In 2010, we started working on that property, and I think that's when I was here. Do you think that was right, Jane? Just when we had just started working on that property. We didn't know why God brought us to Simonet, but in the very first few months, he started just laying out this plan, and it's been amazing. Once Jane called me and I started looking back over the last 15 years, it's really been nothing but a God story. And the song said, I really do love to share this story. So in 2010, we started working on our home there. None of us knew Creole, which is the Haiti language over there. We met a young man by the name of Waybear. And I'm a very particular painter. So I told my daughter, under no circumstances can anyone help us paint, because I wanted it painted just really particular. And 2 young men approached us one afternoon, and they asked if they could help us paint. And I said, I think we got this covered. I think we can take care of this. They could speak English, so it was really helpful. He said, if we can help you get associated in the neighborhood, just let us know. And he quite frankly never went away. He just kept coming back and coming back. To speed that story up, he now is my son-in-law. And he married my daughter several years later, but I'll go back to 2010. So we just started finishing our home. We were working with a larger mission that was about 4 miles from us. Again, not really knowing what God had brought us there for. In 2011, we spent most of our summer there. And we kept running into this Waybear guy. And he'd show up to help us, and then he'd be gone for a while. Well, we found out that summer he had a small school, and he was a teacher. He never told us that he was a teacher or trying to build up this school in the village, because he didn't want us to think he wanted to friend us for our money. And so as time went on and we saw some of his progress and some of the work he was doing in Simonet, we decided to join forces with him and build one school building. That was our plan. However, God started laughing at us on the very first brick we laid. So we now, from 2011 to 2013, we built a large school area with him. We now have 7 school buildings, a beautiful cafeteria, and a nice office building. And things were just really going smooth. 2014, Waybear had asked Dell and I if he could marry our daughter. And yes, we said yes, but it was a very scary time to let your daughter know that that's where she was going to grow and that's where she was going to start a family. So they married in 2014. beautiful ceremony over in Haiti because Waybear could not get a visa to come to America. 2015, our daughter started working with a couple different organizations with some of the product that I have here today. She started working with some of those companies and just really started a passion to help women for job creation, to help them feed their babies. And so she wanted to open up a boutique called Rosie's. So we built a building in Haiti, opened up a boutique. Basically, a lot of the travelers would come in there, like mission trips that were over in Haiti. They were kind of our majority of our customers, buying product that we had worked with different companies in Haiti. And when we were in about 2015, we probably worked with about 10 companies. Currently, right now, we're working with about 12 to 15. And we have started, Kayla and 2 women from Sioux Center have started their own card company, which they design all the cards, and I've got samples on the table. They design all the cards, and then they send them down to Haiti for mamas to stitch. So all the cards are just hand-stitched. We have 32 mamas that we employ, and that involves 111 children. So we're feeding, just through our card program, 111 of their children. So it seems like a lot of children, but they have a lot of children. So that program has just been super great. Like, just have seen a lot of just people grow from it. People have meaning. People have just a reason to get up and go to work. In 2019, Kayla came home to have one of her biological children. She's adopted 3 Haitians, and they came home in 2019 to have a child in the fall. And then we all know what happened. COVID happened, the airlines shut down, and immigration started getting more difficult to go in and out. And so at that time, they settled in Rock Rapids. We found them a small home they could live in until they could go back to Haiti. Well, 6 years later, they're still living in Rock Rapids. The unrest in Haiti really started firing up kind of during COVID. It got to be more unsafe there. We still run our programs. We still have our school. We oversee 32 children. I like to call it our children's home, not necessarily an orphanage. So we watch over 32 children. We have right now currently about 1,000 kids in our school. So that one building that we thought we were going to build, God was laughing the entire last 15 years because we just have been able to grow it just beautifully. We have close to 200 employees. That might be teachers, that might be janitors, that might be cooks in our kitchen. And probably the most beautiful thing that I'm most proud of is that even during all of the unrest, we've never not been able to pay our people. Even if they're not in school, even if they're not teaching school or cooking, we've still been able to keep our programs going and continue to send our money down there. We are a nonprofit organization. We're not affiliated really with any church. It's just basically our family that founded it, and we just have a lot of beautiful people that have come on board with us, that have helped us support. We have a sponsorship program for our school, and then we have a classroom program to help us take care of the fees for our teachers. And then we have just a large amount of companies that we're involved in that we sell our merchandise at Rosie's, like Myrna's Bag. And any of the merchandise that we have back there is what Kayla, our daughter, is kind of in charge of now. She oversees all of the Rosies, and then her husband, Waybear, still communicates for our school program and our children's home and any of the legalistic things with those programs. So we have been able to keep operating. Haiti right now, I don't know, has any of you been to Haiti before? No? It's a crazy, beautiful little country. Unfortunately, they are under a very large unrest. There are 3 gangs that pretty much consist of young men from 14 to 21, and then a little larger group, but there's 3 leaders that are trying to take over the country, is the easiest way to explain it and try to understand it. But these young men, unfortunately, are just trying to follow their leader and just trying to be fed also. So the country is under just terrible unrest. We will be starting school back up in late October. We have not had a successful school year for about the last 4 years. They're not very nice people. And so, unfortunately, they took over our village, of Seamanette, our village about, let me see, all the years kind of start running together. 3 years ago, they came in, and we have not had school up in our village for 3 years. We rented a deserted hotel that is about 16 miles to the north, and converted that into classrooms, a kitchen, a study area, and we've had about 700 children there, because most of our community just kind of all went to the area of the hotel, most of our families. So 3 weeks ago, many of the parents and several of the teachers called Waybear and said, can we please go home? Can we try to go back to the school, clean up the property? The gangs have not destroyed our school. They've done damage, but they haven't ruined any buildings. They haven't burnt buildings. They love to burn things. They love to start things on fire, but they have not done that to the school. And we really credit that there's just a hedge of protection over that mountaintop where our school is. None of our teachers have lost their life. None of our children have lost their life. And many, many people over the last 3 years have lost their life in our area. So we're so thankful for that has not happened in our area. So starting, I think it's October 11, so in about a month, the 3-year-olds through the 6th grade are going to start back to school in Seamanette. So that's my first prayer for all of you, if you could join us, that those families that are returning to the neighborhood could safely come back, and that their children could start school back in Seamanette. The 7th graders through high school are going to stay at the rented property that's about 17 miles from Seamanette, and those teachers and those cooks will all stay there. Just for legality, and also we just got to see how it's going to go. That indeed the gangs will stay away from there, and two of the gang members have actually called my son-in-law and said, we'll leave you alone if you'll just come back so our kids can go to school. I know. It's so hard to imagine the evil of some of these people. But so hopefully, number 2 is that the Lord would just work mightily in these gang members. Because if they would turn their hate and their evil into good for the country and for good of the Lord, it would just be amazing. So that's my second prayer request, that he could just really get into the heart of these men, and really these young men, and try to work them for the good of his work instead of the evil. And then our third biggest program that we are working on right now is actually feeding families. They're starving. Waybear received pictures a couple weeks ago when we had a vacation Bible school, and he said, I remember being hungry when I was little, but I never starved. And from these pictures, he could see they are starving and they are dying. So we ran a vacation Bible school, 1,100 children, and their parents came to it. We fed them every day. They worshiped, they sang, and so we are so excited that they came back to Seamanette, had the programs there, and we could feed all of those families. So that's our third biggest prayer request, is that we can really start feeding a lot of the area children, and that they do get fed at school every day. I should have asked Weber this morning when I saw him, the statistics of it's very high, that the majority of the children that are coming to school, this will be their only meal. And that's why we are so encouraged to try to get them all back into school, get back into a routine, and so that they are fed every day. Basically, their meal is rice, beans. They put some of this other homegrown stuff that I can't ever identify, but it does have protein that they're putting in there too. So we are being able to feed all of them. We're looking that probably we'll have about 300 at the school in Seamanette, and probably about 800 to 900 at the other location. So most of those children are sponsored. We've kind of switched our sponsorship of students to more of a sponsorship of a classroom, so that those fees are taking care of our teachers, and then the like all of the books and paper and things like that. Instead of just sponsoring children, we're sponsoring classrooms. So that's kind of our classroom program. And then we've started the program of feeding the children. And so we have a sponsorship program of that. So anything that we gather today, Jane, I talked to Weber and Kayla before I left, and any donations that we would receive today is going to go toward our food program. So the $20 will feed 6 children for a week. So when you kind of ration that out, that's kind of how it balances out with the $20 that we've kind of set up that program for. Kayla and Weber are doing well. They are kind of taking over Touch of Hope and out of my husband and I's hands, so I can be more grandma. And they do more of the everyday stuff. So Kayla works about every day at Rosie's, mostly behind the scenes stuff. She is our graphic designer. She does all the ordering with all the different companies, and kind of the communicator with all of that. In the last 60 days, she just got accepted into, have you guys heard of Fair Trade, the Fair Trade Federation? So it's different companies all over the world that you prove that you are paying all of your workers fair trade, that they're being taken care of, fair wages, and she just got accepted into that association for our cards. So the card line is specifically Kayla's. The other parties, the other companies that we have are just other companies that work in Haiti. And then some of the merchandise that we have out there too is different fair trade companies, because we've started working with quite a few fair trade companies also than just Haiti items. So you'll see some of those items come from Kenya, Africa, different places. But that's just, we've just started working with different fair trade companies to get different products into Rosie's, and just we believe in what they're doing also. So, and then Weber, could be a fourth prayer request. On October 10, he will be being interviewed to get his citizenship, his American citizenship. He does have a green card. He's legally here, but I think it's going to be the safest thing for him to get his citizenship. Just with some of the different immigration stuff, it'll just be the safest. So October 10, if you guys could all pray for him. I didn't even realize, it's a big test. You have to take a big test to get your immigration and your citizenship here. So that's great. That's going to work. So I got all kinds of prayer requests for you guys. Let's see. So we've talked about the school. We've talked about our 32 kids that we take care of. And we used to have a compound right in Seamanette, which we would call our orphanage or our home. And unfortunately, that's not in great shape. right now. So we have them up by where the school is, just in a small area, in a building up there, and keep them safe up there. We think one of the reasons Seamanette has been struck is we're right on the water. And so they could get to us at night on boat. So that's one of the reasons that the gang came our way. We also have a port not far from Seamanette, and they've been trying to take that over. They haven't won yet, though. So they haven't taken that over, but we're pretty sure that we were just easy to get to by the boat. So there's no one there now, right now. Seamanette is about like Rock Rapids. It's about 3,000 people. And currently, we think about 500 people have moved back there. So we're hoping by Christmas that everyone will feel safe enough and kind of wander back home, is what we're hoping. They said, the parents and the teachers that did call Waybear said, we need some hope. We need to go home. And so we're hoping that that's what they will feel. They will feel safe, and they will feel some restoration and some hope when they get back there. So next month, I'm going to paint myself brown and get an afro. No, I'm not. But I really, really want to go back. I've not been there since Easter of 2021. So I need to get back. But the Lord says, use your head too. And it would not be safe for a white woman to land in that country right now. So I'm going to stay in Rock Rapids and stay safe and just keep spreading our story, telling people our story and what we are doing. The Lord has just stayed so faithful. And the only thing I can say is because we've stayed obedient. And sometimes obedience is not easy. Sorry. This morning, I was with a group of ladies over in Orange City, and one of them ladies have been doing a applesauce fundraiser, we think 9 or 10 years, and they were making 210 gallons of applesauce. And my little grandson and my son-in-law were sitting in the middle. And that's what community is. That's what's being faithful and growing a nonprofit and helping feeding babies looks like. And there's just, they do. They sell the apple. Yeah. Yes, yep. And so it just was a beautiful thing this morning. As I was driving over here, I was just so overtaken that there's that my little Haitian boy that wanted to help us paint 15 years ago, just amongst all this beautiful people, just sharing their love and just trying to put money together to keep these programs going, because that's what it takes. Let's see, what else? Rosie's. So, Kayla really dreamt about Rosie's. Really, it started in 2013. 2014, she wanted to get married, and she thought we should do it then. And I'm like, Kayla, we cannot pull a wedding off in Haiti and start this boutique. So she came home from her honeymoon, and then we started the boutique. We just started with a really small building that first couple years, and then 2016, just this beautiful property came available, and we just built a beautiful, beautiful store. Unfortunately, we had to close those doors in 2019 because of the unrest. A couple times it had been robbed. We had put our workers in danger, and so we had just kind of closed those doors. But I don't think it's a door that's closed forever, because I don't think God would have allowed us, the teams that came down and built it for us, and the funds that came together to build it, I don't think the story is done there. So I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be fun to watch. I'll come back in another 10 years and tell you. But there's just been so many times that God has just, we just didn't know what we were going to do when the Lord called us there in 2010. And I would have never, ever dreamt of doing all the things that he's done in that little village. So yes, we are very heartbroken of where it is right now. But I know our work isn't done there yet. And it's just a beautiful thing to see the Haitian people that have continued to run the store, that have continued to run the school building and take care of our 32 children. That's what it should be. I mean, it should be their own people. And so we hope we're raising up some of these young people to change that country, because that's what it's going to take. And that the Lord takes either the gang members home or changes their hearts, because it's in dire need of a serious change right now. So, are there any questions? I could just tell all kinds of stories, but yes, ma'am. Yes, so home to them is mostly little tin shacks. I used your restroom. It would be one like that would be similar, that size. Yes, yep. And it's in 2018, we had a large group of people come in and worked with the Haitian people to build homes. So many of them are on dirt. And we placed a whole bunch of concrete floors with, so it's usually tin or any wood they can get their hands on, but they're small, really small. Every time I would come home and I would think, how do they really live in those homes? But they do. Yep. Did someone have a question over here? Yep, so Waybear has 7 family members. His mother, who is 75, is our main cook. She is at the building to the north. Waybear does not want her coming back to our village yet, just for safeties. We're still trying to make sure this is all going to be safe. So she's the head cook at 75. Her name is Yvette. And then he has 3 brothers that are teachers, and then a sister that works kind of in the cafeteria, some cleaning areas, and then the other 2 are not in Haiti. They're in Jamaica. Yep. Yeah, so they kind of oversee it, but very large communication with Waybear. Yep. Yes. Well, it's very, there's not a lot of occupation. School, masonry work. There's a couple big factories in Port-au-Prince. They operate here and there. A lot of people grow their own stuff, so there's a lot of markets on the streets, and a lot of more swapping than actually paying cash. So very low unemployment. We are very blessed in this country. A couple weeks ago, I talked to a large youth group, and I said, I'm going to challenge you when you go. I think I was done about 7:30 that day talking to them. I said, I'm going to challenge you that you can't eat tonight before you go to bed or breakfast and not till lunch. And they all were like, but we just don't know hunger. Or the majority of us. I know there is hunger in the United States, but the majority of us just do not know hunger. So we really, really are proud of the food program that is just really starting to rev up right now, is that we will really be able to feed a lot of kids in our area. So we didn't know what the Lord wanted us to do in Seamanette, but this is one of those things, is to feed the kids in our area. My daughter, Kayla, always wants to do more. Like, she's a creative person. She always wants to do more. And I said, we can't feed everybody. And we can't help everybody. But the Lord would do it for one. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to do as many ones as we can. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes. Yep, yep. So a lot of the rice and everything we can buy right there. We no longer are going into Port-au-Prince because it's just too dangerous. We go to the north to St. Mark where we can get it off boats, just right there. We often go in small quantities, like we'll send a few men one day and a few men another day so they don't know, or we don't make it look like it's a big shipment to one spot. Yes. The vegetables, yes. They raise a lot of goats. They eat a lot of goat. Um, they eat a lot of horse. So yes, they do raise different animals, but it's a lot of vegetables. It's a lot of fruit. Yep, yeah, yep. Beautiful mango trees. Oh, you'll never have a mango like over in Haiti. Yes. No, we provide for our school. Yep, a touch of hope. Yep, yep. And it has been amazing. It's one of the most largest God stories I've ever seen happen. Because we take it very serious that the money we do receive in goes right back to our programs. Yep, and he just has constantly provided. There are several programs, and like Feed My Starving Children. So a lot of their food does go into Haiti, and we've gotten it on occasion. We just can't get into Port-au-Prince. Yep. They cannot. So Kayla's oldest is Jeff Tay. We had been traveling back and forth to an orphanage down there, and just really got to know the people there. And he just was always around when Kayla and Waybear were at this orphanage. When he was 4, they contacted us, and he was dying. And so the easiest I can say is, well, what was happening is a parasite was attacking all of his organs. And so we had gotten him help, and he's her oldest. Now he is about 180, 190 pounds, and he's a wonderful middle linebacker. And I have a picture of the kids out there. And Loveson is her second child, and he was 4 also. He came a year later. He was in an orphanage that they had shut down and just had no place for 11 boys to go. So they came to Seamanette, where our children's home was. And Kayla and him just connected right away. And so she took him in. He was 4 years old and 18-month onesies and right about 22 pounds. So he was a very sick little boy, but he's so fun. You'll see him out on the picture. And then Wishla was 11 months old. She weighed 7 pounds, 6 ounces, and she is HIV positive. But right now, because of the care we've been able to give her and the medicine we've been able to get her here, it's hardly registers in her blood work anymore. So, and she just turned 13, and she's full of fire. So, and then, yes, Kayla has 3 biological, and then her 4th biological is due in November. So they have a crazy wild household, and I love being grandma. Yes. Yep. Yes. It is, they are very common, and a lot of the kids are actually not orphans, but their parents think that it will be better in an orphanage than them trying to raise them. Yep. Because we know Jeff Tay's mom and dad, we know Loveson's mom and dad, and we know Wishla's mom and dad. Yep. Yes. It's been very hard. So they finally, this year, yep. Well, actually, it'll be next week. Last year in September, they finally got them adopted, and they will be 18, 17, and 13. Yeah. So it got very different. We were really close in Haiti, but then everything just happened. COVID happened. It just, everything. The files were lost. And so an immigration lawyer here in Sioux City said, let's just abandon all the files and the work done in Haiti and start to legally adopt them here in the USA. And so we finalized that last year. Yep, so they're legally Kaylin Way Bears. Yeah. Such good coffee. So our coffee that we have here is grown way in the mountains. So it's very, very low in acid. Like it just has no aftertaste, just so yummy. Yes. And that company is also a Haitian man and an American gal. And they're Kaylin Waybear work really close with them, have a lot of the same desires just to raise up Haitian kids and raise up Haitian young adult women and men to change that company. So, yep, we've got some of that coffee there, and we serve that at Rosie's. It's really good. So, yeah, Rosie's, currently we are not open in Haiti. Kayla has a wonderful online store, and then we have a large location just right downtown of Rock Rapids. You can't miss us. We're right by the stoplight. So, if you ever come that way, stop and see us. And I live upstairs. We bought the building in 2019. And we did some remodeling in Rosie's, and then we decided that Dell and I would remodel the upstairs, and don't ever do that if no, it turned out really great, but no one had lived up there since 1954, so we had a lot of work up there, but it works out great. Yeah, we just live up there, and no, I can never call in sick because I'm too close. Or for a blizzard. Yes. Yes. Right. So the population of Haiti, which is it's just, do you know where Haiti is? Okay, so it's this side is Haiti, that side is the Dominican. Like it's, like you literally, when you are flying over, can see the change. Dominican, lush, beautiful, green. This side, brown. All of our mountains are brown. They've deforested it. They use it all for charcoal. Like, so about 2 million people in a very small area. It's not as big as Rhode Island. It's going to take a miracle. I'm just being honest. And you're not ignorant. It's going to take a miracle to get those 3 gangs out of there, out of control, and to get a government going. No. Neither. Neither. I don't think they care because Haiti doesn't have anything to give them back. I know. Mm-mm. So right now, so our son-in-law really communicates with some officials. We're hoping and praying that someone's coming in. And that's really all I can say at this point. They're coming in to kill. The gang members have got to go because they're just destroying that country. Just being honest, unfortunately. But they're getting fed. They're getting taken care of, those members are. Yeah. And the saddest part is they're young men. Yeah. They're really young men. So it's going to take a miracle, and it's probably going to take a lot of loss of life. Yeah. That's the scary, really bad part of it. And I just hope my loved ones can stay out of the way. Yep. Some rich Haitians in the U.S. They're the ones that got all the guns over there. Because they're not even regular guns. I mean, they're big. They're big guns. Mm-hmm. Yes. Izzo is the youngest man. He's 27 years old, and he's really the one that's been in our area. Probably hundreds. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's hard to even imagine. I can see the puzzled look on your face. It's hard to even imagine. And for us that have been there and worked there, my daughter and I drove in the city all the time by ourselves. All the time. We'd go to all the different companies. Oh, no. Really, no one is going into the city right now. Yeah. So that just was really a downer, wasn't it? But there's a lot of beauty, too. They are some very, very beautiful people in that country. And they really depend on Jesus. Because for a lot of them, that's all they got. So we are proud. It is part of our story. That we get to be there, that we get to serve them, that we get to work with them, and we're never going to quit. Because right now it'd be really easy to quit. But we are not going to quit. So, thank you for having me here today. And we really didn't know, and some days we still don't know. But we just really keep trusting in him. Our motto or our slogan or whatever you want to call it, our mission, has always been Matthew 25:40. And that is for the least you do. My brain just went blank. You do. Yes. Yep. And so I believe that is why if we keep staying obedient, the Lord will keep keeping us faithful. Even the teachers and some of the families can feel the hedge of protection over that property. I mean, 90-some people were up at our property cleaning the buildings, getting rid of all the grass that's grown over the years, and they said, we've got to come home. We've got to come back and have some hope together. So that's what we're going to keep doing. And so if all of you could just join in prayer, just number one, that our school could open and stay safe, that the families could stay safe. Second, for our food program, that the Lord would just keep providing funds for that we could feed these families. Third, for Waybear, that everything goes okay. October 10 in Omaha, he has to meet in front of a board for his citizenship. And I know there was a fourth one. Can't remember. But I appreciate your prayers. We really do. It's how we've been able to keep doing it for these years. So, anybody else got any questions? Stop at Rosie's. Yeah, it's a really fun place. It really is. We love being in our community that we've raised our kids in, and we love being able to give back to our community in Simonette too. So it's a win-win. You get some really good stuff. Anything else, Jane?
Tell them you have some websites.
Yes, we do.
Interesting.
Yep. So there's a pamphlet on each of your by your places that really it breaks down Touch of Hope. So Touch of Hope is our orphanage, which I don't like calling orphanage, it's our children's home, and then the school, and then job creation. And Rosie's falls under that job creation. So we have not missed a week of work since this has all started for our 32 mamas. We do wholesale work with companies. We do private label things with our stitching items. We do a lot of work with Feed My Starving Children in Minneapolis, because all of that work keeps our mamas working for our job creation. So that kind of is explained, and that website is on the back of Touch of Hope. And then our Rosie's website is just Rosie's Boutique Haiti, and you can pull it up really easy.
They have some pictures of the actual store. They have some little videos,
Yep. Kayla does a great job.
and I've watched several of them. One was about the coffee.
Yep.
And is it a lady that picked up seeds, coffee bean seeds,
Yeah,
back when they had the hurricane? Is
Yep.
that right?
yep.
Yeah, tell that story. You know better than I do.
I
wasn't there.
don't know all of the story because that's a different company than us, but it is way up high in the mountains, and then, yeah, she just started working with farmers, and all of a sudden they met these people, and it just, again, God just started yeah.
See, a lot of the coffee plantations were ruined with the hurricane, isn't it?
Yes, yep,
And this
yep,
lady,
but they were high enough.
okay.
Yep,
And these seeds were kept and planted little trees,
Yep,
and then
lots
the
of
trees
trees.
were planted
yep. One little tree.
in Haiti, and my understanding, it takes 10 years before you get much harvested from them.
I'm not gonna answer that because I'm not sure.
I thought that's what I had
Yeah,
heard, so,
yep.
yeah, awesome. What about your shoe?
Yep, so there's a company in Haiti that we work really close with that they make our shoes for our kids. So it employs workers in Haiti, but then it puts shoes on all of our kids. And we just finished that drive. 1,100 shoes were purchased, and so every one of our students will get a new pair for school this fall. So, but it's just so great that they make them right there. Okay. Right, yep. And I should have updated you, Jane. I apologize about that. Because a church in Shaolin, or Rock Rapids, had met the need. And so that's why this morning Kaylin Waybear said it's going to go toward the food program. Yes, it's going to be food instead. Okay. Yep, I should have updated you.
Just feel sure that the money will go directly to Haiti.
Yes, it will. Yes.
We give her a stipend so that she can come and prepare and take time off work, but then everything that you donate will go directly to Haiti.
Yes, it will.
If somebody writes a check, who do we make it out to?
Touch of Hope.
Touch of Hope,
Yep.
okay. / Haiti, or?
Nope, can just be Touch
Just
of
Touch
Hope.
of Hope,
Yep.
okay. Just for your knowledge, it might be nice to know, so.
I believe they're shooting for the date of October 10. Yes. Yes. He's going to. I've already talked to the Lord. It's all worked out. Yes. Yep.
Question was, when will school start in Haiti? And it's
It-
October 10. so.
Yes. Yes. That's what we're praying for.
There's a lot in this world to pray for these days, and especially for our faith, and now we have extra things that we can put on our prayer list. And as harvest comes and Thanksgiving comes, we have so much to be thankful for,
Yes.
and which we're also thankful that you could come join us.
I thank you for asking me.
Well, that's great. It's fun to renew our friendship, and
Yes, 15 years already. Yeah,
it's amazing.
yes.
It's funny, Emily, my daughter, did live in Laverne. And then she was transferred to the Orange City office, and so she lives now just outside of Polina. And she goes to Rosie's every so often. She's a real coffee nut, and bought some coffee cups, mugs. There's some of them out here. Do they go in the microwave too?
Yep.
Or okay,
Yep. And dishwasher.
all right,
Mhm.
very good. It's good to know. Lots of neat items. Be sure to take a look. And Mike, would you like just a short connection on what's going on in Nepal or not? Last year's visit was to Nepal, and the Brassers went. Can you speak loud from there, or?
Oh, yeah, they went this last year, but just recent news, the last month, there's been a civil war in Nepal. So there's a new president was installed. So yeah, that's something they think it'll be better, but that doesn't mean that their religion changes, that doesn't mean any of that changes. But there might be some reprieve on certain things, but it's a pretty peaceful nation is what Kevin always makes sure to tell me, but with this unrest, that was kind of something new. So, yeah, that kind of happened suddenly. There wasn't a lot of loss of life, which was great in that battle for leadership, so. But that's kind of all I know recently. I know Kevin and Karen are planning to go back next year again. It's been, everything they used, everything they took was used. They're able to give away the Bible cards from the Gideons, so people can get it on their phones now. And so in their language, so they don't have to try to smuggle as many Bibles over. So that's a
Wow.
blessing. They do still take physical Bibles and get them in when they're allowed to get them in. So, yeah.
Very good, thank you. If you're in the work crew for our church helping serve today, you can be excused. They're going to put the coffee on the table. We have coffee or lemonade. We're going to sing a number, just one hymn perhaps. Take My Life and Let It Be. That's on 597. While we're getting the book open, I'm going to just mention a few things to you. All the desserts you maybe noticed are on the table. There's like 3 tables that don't have any on them. Try pick a table that has desserts on them. We didn't know how many would be here, and we thought it'd be better just to put some on those tables later if we needed them. We did this a few years ago where either you can pick your dessert or pick your friend. You have to make a choice, I guess. If you don't like a dessert and there's nobody sitting someplace you could trade to. Yep. It's a good time to make a new friend too. So there's no need to go to the window. They'll serve lemonade if you'd like. Be sure to check out Renae's items that are for sale. If you would like a contact person for guest day for next year, there's some small pieces of paper. Yeah, this is a scrap. That's what it's on the table back there. If you would like a special notice that would come maybe either a phone call or an email, please just write your name and your email or phone number. I will personally get a hold of you, but then I would like you to get a few others involved, you know. I will still go ahead and send notes to the churches that I do, but I know that doesn't reach everybody that might want to come again next year. The other possibility or the other thing that's happening is we don't have as many women's groups in our churches. And who does the secretary give it to? Sometimes it just goes in a round basket. And we don't really want that. We'd like to get it out so people get it in their hands. So our numbers are going down, but you know what? There's fewer of our very faithful older people that are able to come. So God bless you. I'm happy to see that number. I'm very pleased. So thank you for giving us a count. Sometimes we go ahead and we actually ask how many are here from which church, but we're not going to do that today. So I can go back and check the list that you signed up, and it's kind of fun to check which churches are very faithful. So, okay, 597. I don't even have the right page. Too busy talking. Let's do 1 and 5. And again, I give thanks to God for all of you, for coming, for Renae and all that she's been doing with her family. And it's such a neat opportunity that you're passing it on to your children and that they can continue this work. So you can go and have fellowship and coffee cake, coffee or lemonade. If you'd like water, we can get that for you too. Thank you for coming.